The strange thing, though, about being a child actor is that you realize early on the myth that you may be creating about yourself. And when I say myth, I kind of mean a lot of that typecasting stuff, the kind of stuff that you're going to have to get used to being sent out on because of the nature of what is popular early on. Now, like I said, this commercial was so popular that the director outright, Ted Kotcheff, said, "I want that kid," and they had to track me down. I guess that wouldn't be very wouldn't be very hard, but again, working early on as an actor, again, you sort of see how you are being perceived and molded and molding yourself um, for your entire career. I mean, yeah, you can be super versatile, but that's not the easiest thing. Now we're talking commercial television, but even across the board. But this kind of plucking me out of obscurity, so to speak, and shoving me in this commercial where I was so precocious and lovably obnoxious. Poor Arthur O'Connell. I really felt for the man having to put up with these people constantly coming into his general store, grilling the guy about toothpaste. But the other thing that you learn is that how random successful paths can be in Hollywood. Like I said, I just do this little commercial, just like all the commercials I've ever done, and boom, pluck out of nowhere. Ted Kotcheff picks me, and I realize that my sort of confidence, for lack of a better word, is currency. There can be currency in the industry. And so this one silly little commercial where I am this extremely precocious poor kid not poor kid, I'm not kid, mouthy kid, telling off this OG like Hollywood movie star who's hawking toothpaste. Hey, nothing wrong with hawking anything, except my wedding ring. I had to hawk that 3 times. That was annoying. But so, like I said, this one silly commercial leads to me co-starring in a movie with Jane Fonda, who I become very close with her and her family. And then the next thing you know, I'm shaking a box of toothpaste and I'm holding Jane Fonda's Oscar for Clute because there's a family over that there, because of Jane, Fun with Dick and Jane and all of that. So I didn't understand necessarily my career. I felt I knew where I was headed, and I sure was observing all that was around me. So thanks for joining me today and all this enthusiasm about commercials and about Crest toothpaste. And in the meantime, I'll see you tomorrow. Thanks. Bye.